Cashing out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with me, Joe Serralo. We've got our guy, Tony Cotillo. Follow him at Rise with Tony on Twitter. Joining us on the Progressive Guest Line, gave out his favorite DFS value plays. Now we've got some Thursday Night Football props to cash out with. Tony, you've been killing these all year. Last week, we're going to take it. We're going to crumble it up, throw it out the window. There were no one who had offensive props last week did well.
No.
First game all year without a touchdown. I saw at one shop in Vegas, 400-1. That game, no touchdown to be scored. First game all year, Thursday night, week 15. It was between the Rams and the Niners, no less. A Rams team coming off a 45 spot, a Niners team coming off a 38 spot. So we're going to take last week. We're going to throw it out the window. You get a mulligan because you've been so damn good with these Thursday night props. Let's get back to business. Denver, Chargers, Broncos catching 2.5 to 3, depending on where you look. Coming off a game, they were down 13-7 at the half. They win at 31-13. Bo Nix didn't have his best game. Does he bounce back? What do you like out of Bo Nix?
I'll tell you, man, we really need to start talking about what's going on out there in Denver. I mean, I know I've been talking about it, and I think it's because I relish in the fact that Sean Payton is one of my gurus that I've always said that, man, just give him a year. And Bo Nix was the tale of two halves, man. He was terrible in the first half. He wasn't great in the second half. I mean, Joe, we're talking almost under 4 yards per throw. It was like terrible, but 3 touchdowns, and still wins the game. And this is what we've seen with Bo Nix. So I got 2 props for Bo. Number one, I'm going big time plus money. We're gonna ride up to something I do call it the plus money prop train, and we're gonna go with Bo Nix. Give him over 1.5 touchdowns at plus 150. Right now, you get that ESPN bet. So I look at that and I say, okay, 4 out of 5 weeks, Bo Nix has thrown for multiple touchdowns. I look at the Chargers. That defense got exposed a little bit last week, so you need to look at that. Get a very, very good mind in Sean Payton, seeing that blueprint, right? And then I'm going to go to attempts, because the one thing we know is no matter what with Bo Nix, he's going to continue to throw the ball. Over 32.5 attempts. If you look at it, 33, 35, 42, 33. I mean, he's getting 30 plus. And in this game, in this kind of environment, he's going to have to throw to win, because if you look at their running backs, the reason why I don't have any running back props for the Denver Broncos, they barely get any clock, man. Like 7 carries, 8 carries, 3 carries, no running backs. It's all Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix in that game against Indy. I mean, you look, Denver had 4 guys with 5 or more carries.
Yeah,
you had Audric Esteen with 5, Javonte Williams with 6, Jaleel McLaughlin with 7, Bo Nix with 8. He was their leading rusher, 23 yards, 8 carries. You want to talk about the terrible passing performance, less than 4 yards per attempt. Not completion, less than 4 yards per attempt. Try this, less than 3 yards per carry collectively as a team, 2.7 yards per carry. Just a terrible offensive output from Denver on every single front, yet they somehow win the game by 18. I somehow win 3 units on that bet because I had him 1 unit laying 4 pre-flop. I thought that was dead, so at halftime I come back with 2 units on the live money line. Jonathan Taylor scores. I think I'm dead. Turns out he didn't score. I mean, luckiest break of my day in a day that included having Washington -7. And, of course, that clock debacle and the 17-0 blown lead. I'll save it for my therapist. Let's look at the Chargers' offensive side, Tony. You got 2 Bo Nix props. We call that the Jimmy 2 times 2 times. But you got a Jimmy 2 times for a guy in this Chargers offense. Who are you doubling down on for the Bolts?
Man, I'll tell you, man, it's my man Q. You know, a lot of people, a lot of skeptics out there were saying Q was never going to come to fruition. And the last couple games, Q's been the guy. 17 targets in 2 games. He's showing he can make that jump. And here's the thing, he's up to almost double-digit yards per catch as well. And he has scored the last 2 weeks. And he has a long of 21. So he's showing he's getting down the field. He's getting separation. But he's also jumping up and getting the ball, something that he hasn't been able to do. So I'm looking at this and going, this guy's been steady. Okay. Patrick Surtain, but he's a little banged up. Right? I don't know if he's playing. I'm going to assume he's not playing. Right? It's short week. But so you have Quentin Johnston out there. I hammered his prop last week. It was actually plus money at over 3.5. I hammered that, got that. Now again, Vegas said nope, no more plus money, minus 120. Still, I'm still going to take it. And his yards over 39.5, and he's been over that the last 2 weeks as well. So I'm going to give you. I don't normally do this, but I'll say the line on Quentin Johnston this week. He's going to get 7 catches. He's going to hit 80 yards, and he's going to score a touchdown for the 3rd game in a row. So we'll see if that comes out.
So would you got over 3.5 laying $1.20. You got over 39.5 yards laying $1.20. Would you look to ladder any of these? Would you look to maybe go alt line for a plus money play, 5 receptions or more, maybe 50 yards or more, get good plus money, I'd presume, on both of those?
I would, yeah, I would go catches. I would. I don't know about yards because I get a little skeptical because even though he's almost at double digits, I see a lot of his routes that are cut short. So but I would go catches. I would definitely ladder to catches. So if you could get that, 5 or more, I would actually go up to 7 or more. I do. I think this is going to be a big time Quentin Johnston game. The running game is not there. They're throwing more. So I'm going all Q in this week, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if offhand I could find a reception alt number. At least I'm on DraftKings right now. I'm sure if you look a little harder, you could certainly do that a little harder than I'm able to right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just seeing 3.5 yards if you want to ladder it. If you want to go 50 plus, that's plus $1.30. His longest catch over under is 18.5. I know he was viewed as a deep ball guy when he came into the league, but to your point, you're 100% right. Now with McConkey kind of filling that role, Johnston's done a lot of shorter work, despite his deep ball prowess at TCU and then his rookie year, the expectations there. But 50 yards plus 130. I'm not finding a reception number. There is another target, I'll say, not receiver, another target for Justin Herbert that you like in this one. Who is it, Tony? All right, I think Tony might have froze on us. We'll see if he can get him back on. If not, I'll give the folks his play before the segment ends if we're not able to get him back on. All right.